Alright, I just finished Michael Crichton's Dragon Teeth. It was published in 2017. He died in 2008. And I believe it was written in 1970s based on what was talked about here. It sounds like he wrote it before he wrote Jurassic Park. He had a deep fascination with dinosaurs, and this is another one. I had second thoughts. I hesitated to read this because it's like, okay, Michael Crichton died in 2008. What more can he tell us? What could he have enlightened us about in 2008 to now? What could he enlighten us about now from possibly a 2008 novel? But that's not the case. This is a history, okay? Who the main character is a photographer, and Michael Crichton makes references to historical events that occurred. Now there were dinosaur hunters in the mid 1800s, mid to late 1800s. Dinosaurs weren't exactly known in the 1850s. Even when Lewis and Clark came across dinosaur bones, all right, they didn't really know that they were dinosaurs. Okay. And they were finding big bones in the about 1876 dragon teeth. Now they're saying that they're actual dragon teeth, but in the book it turns out that they're just brontosaurus teeth. There's a lot of great things to learn about dinosaur digging in the pioneer days. Okay, they had problems with Indians. The Indians were killing a lot. This is during a lot of the Indian Wars. It's during the period, which he says when Custer was defeated, when he lost 500 men to the 5,000 Indians in the Dakotas. And this is there. He drew out a map of the route that was taken. It's quite a distance that this photographer Johnson covered. But it's interesting how there was a rivalry for dinosaur bone hunting, and they were rich eccentrics. They could afford the train rides and buying all the necessary equipment, the wagons and the horses and all that. Being professors, I think Michael Crichton was pretty reasonable about his about the financial situations of the people. He just made them rich so that they could afford quite a bit. But there were times when they were stolen from, when the main character was stolen from, and he had to find a way to make money. Yeah, 2017. That's, who knows what else he's got. But for a history book, it works. I appreciate the candor that was involved, just with the references to the actual history, and then intertwining his fiction with it, just filling in some gaps, pretty much, because the history isn't exactly complete. All right, sometimes you have to fill in the gaps, and he did that. He at the end he talks about where he stretched the truth, like Robert Louis Stevenson, and how Johnson met him on the train ride in 1875. But Robert Louis Stevenson, the great author, he didn't ride the train to the west until like 3 years later. So he stretched the truth a little bit to fit his narrative, but he put it together really well and gave a good vision of what it would have been like to be a part of this competition for dinosaur bones, while everybody else was rushing to the Black Hills to steal the Indians' gold, while there was the Indian War going on, while there was distrust among people just with the criminals. He even brought in a few criminals from the Wild West days, like Wyatt Earp, who actually Wyatt Earp is supposed to be like a good guy, he intertwined his story a little bit with the main character, and it passes as being believable. Okay, it's not like he really stretched the truth too much. And there were people that just who fooled each other in certain ways. I really like the part where Wyatt Earp actually, he snuck up behind some enemy guys and he just started blasting his shotgun, and he was like, boom, and then he was like, ah, boom, ah. He was simulating the guys like yelling blood-curdling screams as they were getting shot, and it was a hoax. Okay, but everybody, all the enemy guys ran away thinking that their friends were getting shot. I thought that was interesting. No bloodshed with that situation. Of course, there were others that there were actual murders and stuff. Friends die, enemies die. Friendships are formed. Love is made and lost. It's a pretty complete story. That I don't know what was going on. Was this written before Jurassic Park, and he just kind of shelved it? It's a good story though.